3I Atlas was discovered on July 1st by the NASA-funded Atlas survey. It was discovered using their telescope at Rio Hurtado in Chile, and it was first detected as a speck of light moving relative to background stars.
When the first readings of 3I Atlas hit NASA's servers, something didn't add up. This was no ordinary comet. Dark, massive, and accelerating through the solar system with an eerie precision, the object was unlike anything scientists had seen before. To make sense of it, the data was handed to a quantum AI capable of spotting patterns no human could. What it uncovered was deeply unsettling, evidence that this interstellar visitor was hiding far more than dust and ice. In the next few minutes, you'll see why experts are rattled, and why 3I Atlas may be the most mysterious object humanity has ever encountered. A visitor that breaks the rules. You see, space is supposed to be predictable. For centuries, we've charted the heavens, relying on the beautiful, unchanging laws of physics. Gravity, momentum, radiation, these are the pillars of our cosmic understanding. But every so often, something comes along that takes a sledgehammer to those pillars. In 2019, we met Oumuamua, a bizarre cigar-shaped object that tumbled through our system. Then came Borisov, a more familiar, comet-like visitor. But the thing nobody tells you is that these were just the opening act. The main event, the one that has scientists losing sleep, is a visitor named 3I Atlas. Discovered by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System in Hawaii, this object was immediately different. It was flagged as the third interstellar object ever seen, a true messenger from another star system. But as NASA's most powerful telescopes, including the Hubble and the James Webb, turned their gaze upon it, a chilling realization began to dawn. This messenger wasn't just bringing greetings, it was bringing a mystery that bordered on the impossible. The first sign that something was deeply wrong came from its tail. Comets, as we know them, are essentially dirty snowballs. As they get closer to the sun, the ice and rock heat up, releasing a cloud of gas and dust. The sun's powerful solar wind then pushes this material away, creating the iconic tail that always points away from the sun. Except for 3I Atlas. Its tail was pointing towards the sun. Let that sink in. It's like standing in a hurricane and seeing the rain fly directly into the wind. It just doesn't happen. This wasn't some minor deviation. It was a flagrant violation of cometary physics. The dust plume, a ghostly stream of particles, was being dragged along with the object as if shielded from the sun's immense pressure. Scientists scrambled for an explanation. Maybe it was an odd shape, maybe it was rotating in a peculiar way. But none of the conventional models fit the data. It was the first of many anomalies that would stack up, each one more baffling than the last. Many people are crazy about finding simple answers, but with 3I Atlas, the simple answers were the first to be ruled out. The object was a ghost in the machine of our solar system, and it was just getting started. It was also enormous. Initial estimates placed its nucleus, the solid core, at somewhere between 1/3 of a mile and a staggering 5.5 miles across. This wasn't a pebble from another star. It was a mountain, larger than any interstellar object we had ever witnessed, and it was hurtling through our cosmic backyard with an agenda all its own. What it's hiding is even more shocking. Hiding in plain sight. When astronomers study a comet, they use a technique called spectroscopy. It's like a chemical fingerprint analysis for space objects. By looking at the light that passes through the comet's gassy coma, they can see the distinct signatures of different molecules. For active comets, there's a standard checklist of chemicals they expect to see: cyanogen, diatomic carbon, and other volatile gases. These are the building blocks of comets across the galaxy. It's the signature of life, in a way, or at least the potential for it. But not all things are what they seem. When the first spectroscopic scans of 3I Atlas came back, the results were stunning. But for all the wrong reasons. There was nothing. Blank stares from the detectors. The computers showed a visible cloud of dust, meaning something was coming off the object, yet the key chemical fingerprints were completely absent. This was a scientific contradiction of the highest order. It's like seeing smoke but finding no evidence of a fire. How could 3I Atlas be shedding a massive dust tail without releasing the gases that are supposed to accompany it? The things nobody tells you is that this kind of anomaly forces a complete reevaluation of everything we thought we knew. The team at NASA was stumped. They ran the tests again and again, thinking it had to be an instrument error, but the results were consistent. This interstellar visitor was a ghost. It had the physical form of a comet, but it lacked its chemical soul. Was it made of something else entirely? Some exotic material forged in a type of star system we've never even imagined? The speculation ran wild. Maybe it was an incredibly ancient dead comet, its volatile gases long since boiled away. But if that were true, what was causing the dust to come off now? It was a paradox wrapped in an enigma, flying at over 100,000 miles per hour. Then, as it crept closer to the sun, something finally changed. Faint, almost imperceptible traces of cyanogen began to appear. But it was too little, too late to fit any existing model. The amount was minuscule compared to the massive dust plume. It was like finding a single drop of gasoline next to a burning building. It didn't explain the fire, it only made it more mysterious. The object seemed to be intentionally hiding its true nature, revealing only the bare minimum as it was subjected to the sun's intense heat. The mystery of 3I Atlas deepened, transforming from a simple curiosity into a profound scientific puzzle. But its strange chemistry was nothing compared to its path. Was it aiming for us? In space, your path is everything. It's a dance choreographed by gravity, a predictable arc from one point to another. Objects don't just decide to change course. Yet, 3I Atlas was not a normal dancer. Its trajectory was so unusual, so statistically improbable, that it set off alarm bells in orbital dynamics departments around the world. You see, it was on a path that would bring it unusually close to 2 planets in our solar system. On October 3, 2025, it is projected to pass just 0.19 astronomical units from Mars. And just a month later, it will swing by Venus at a distance of 0.65 astronomical units. To the average person, these might just sound like numbers, but to an astronomer, they are a statistical bombshell. A team of researchers ran what are called Monte Carlo simulations. They essentially created a computer model of the solar system and threw millions of virtual interstellar objects at it from every conceivable angle to see what paths they might take. They were trying to answer a simple question. What are the odds of an object from another star randomly ending up on a trajectory like the one taken by 3I Atlas? The answer that came back was staggering. The probability was less than 0.005%. That's 1 in 20,000. It's the cosmic equivalent of throwing a dart from New York City and hitting the bullseye on a dartboard in Los Angeles on the first try. It's not just unlikely, it's borderline unbelievable. Many people are crazy about destiny, but in physics, there is no destiny, only probability. And the probability was screaming that something else was going on. But here's the kicker. The object wasn't just on an improbable path, it was also accelerating. There was a measurable deviation in its trajectory that could not be explained by the gravitational pull of the sun and planets alone. For a normal comet, this non-gravitational acceleration is caused by outgassing, where the release of gas acts like a tiny rocket thruster. But 3I Atlas was accelerating before it showed any significant signs of outgassing. It was changing its speed without a visible engine. This is where the story takes a sharp turn, from strange science to something else entirely. Unable to explain the trajectory, the acceleration, or the chemistry, scientists turn to a new kind of intelligence. They turn to a quantum AI for answers. A signal from the void. The thing is, human brains and conventional computers are good at finding patterns they expect to see. They can analyze data based on known models of the universe. But what do you do when you're faced with something that fits no known model? You need a different kind of mind. NASA, in collaboration with some of the world's leading tech institutions, fed all the data from 3I Atlas. its light curve, its trajectory, its chemical signature, everything into a revolutionary quantum artificial intelligence. Unlike a normal computer, a quantum AI can hold multiple contradictory states at once, allowing it to explore millions of possibilities simultaneously. It was designed to find patterns that are invisible to us, to hear a whisper in a hurricane, and it found something. The result that came back made every other anomaly pale in comparison. Buried deep within the noise of the object's brightness data, the faint flickering of light reflecting off its surface, the quantum AI detected a signal. It was a persistent repeating cycle, a rhythmic pulse that was not random. It was, for lack of a better term, a heartbeat. This wasn't a natural rotation. The object was far too large to be spinning at a rate that would produce this signal. It wasn't a wobble, and it didn't align with any known cometary behavior. It was an organized, structured pattern hidden beneath layers of cosmic static. The experts were shaken. This finding elevated 3I Atlas from a scientific curiosity to a potential paradigm shift. Natural objects don't have heartbeats. They don't emit organized, repeating signals unless there is an underlying mechanism causing it. The implications were, and are, immense. What could possibly cause such a regular, rhythmic pulse from a supposedly dead piece of rock and ice? The quantum AI offered no explanation for the signal's origin, only its undeniable existence. It was pure data, a mathematical certainty that defied a natural explanation. The theories began to fly, from the mundane to the extraordinary. Could it be a strange internal geological process? A perfectly balanced, rotating fragment of a larger, shattered body? Or was it something else? The data was now pointing towards a possibility that many scientists are uncomfortable even considering. The heartbeat was a signal, and signals, by their very nature, imply intent. Is it possible we are missing the obvious? Are we being watched? So, here we are. We have an object from another star that defies physics. It has a tail pointing the wrong way, a ghostly chemical signature, and it's on a 1 in 20,000 trajectory. And now, thanks to a quantum AI, we know it has a hidden, rhythmic pulse, a heartbeat in the void. What does it all mean? The thing is, when you put all the pieces together, the puzzle creates a picture that is both thrilling and deeply unsettling. The official scientific explanations are struggling to keep up. They propose exotic ices we've never seen, or a nucleus shaped like a thin, reflective solar sail. They talk about fragmentation and irregular shapes, but none of these theories can explain all the anomalies at once. Each explanation solves one piece of the puzzle while ignoring the others. But what if the answer is simpler and at the same time, infinitely more complex? Are we, as a species, so conditioned to look for natural explanations that we are willfully ignoring an unnatural one? Think about it. When you strip away the scientific jargon, what are we left with? An object of immense size, moving on a controlled, statistically impossible path, seemingly hiding its composition and emitting a structured, repeating signal. If we saw an object doing that in our oceans, we wouldn't call it a strangely shaped whale. We'd call it a submarine. The question we have to start asking is, are we looking at an interstellar submarine? Is 3I Atlas a probe? An artifact from a civilization far beyond our own? This isn't just one wild theory, it's a doorway to a dozen unsettling possibilities. Consider the idea of a Bracewell probe. This is a theoretical, autonomous craft sent by an advanced civilization to seek out and make contact with emerging intelligent life. It wouldn't arrive with flashing lights. It would be subtle. It would enter a system, observe, and maybe, just maybe, send out a simple, unmistakable signal to see if anyone is smart enough to hear it. A heartbeat, a cosmic knock on the door. Is 3I Atlas waiting for us to answer? The thing nobody tells you is that some theories are even grander. What if we're looking at a Genesis probe, an interstellar seed, designed not to find life, but to create it? Its impossible trajectory, bringing it close to Mars and Venus, might not be a random fluke, but a survey flight, scanning for worlds ripe for seeding. As 3I Atlas continues its impossible journey through our solar system, we are left with a universe of questions. What do you think is the source of its mysterious heartbeat? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the cosmos.